Do you know this? When it comes to pumpkin, 9 out of 10 people get it wrong. Today I want to tell you 3 truths. First, many people think pumpkin lowers blood sugar. That's wrong. Its glycemic index can reach about 75, close to white rice. Eat it the wrong way, and your blood sugar rises instead of falling. Second, thinking the sweeter the pumpkin the better is also wrong. The sweeter it is, the higher the sugar, and that becomes a burden. Third, if you think pumpkin is just an ordinary vegetable, think again. The Compendium of Materia Medica records pumpkin as warm and sweet, entering and supporting the spleen and stomach, and elders once called it the ginseng of the poor. So why do most people get only a fraction of its benefits? Because they don't know how to eat it, when to eat it, or what to pair it with. Many older adults are low in lutein, yet only a few even realize they should replenish it. Pumpkin happens to be among the richer foods for these eye-friendly pigments. It costs only a little, yet the effect can rival expensive supplements. To be honest, I drink a bowl of pumpkin porridge every morning and have kept at it for nearly 10 years. I've seen so many older people benefit from it: steadier blood pressure, clearer eyes, and a more comfortable stomach. In the next 20 minutes, I'll tell you which groups should eat it most, how to pair it so the effect doubles, and which ways of eating actually do harm. We won't talk in lofty theories, only practical things ordinary people can use. If you want to protect your health with the most affordable ingredients in your kitchen, stay with me to the end. And if you once believed pumpkin could lower blood sugar, drop a 1 in the comments. Let's start from the beginning and look at how traditional views see pumpkin and how modern views speak about it. First, we have to be clear. Is pumpkin food or medicine? The old saying goes that food and medicine share the same roots. Pumpkin is exactly like that. In the Compendium of Materia Medica, it's written clearly: pumpkin is warm and sweet, and it enters the channels of the spleen and stomach. What does that mean in plain language? It means pumpkin looks after your digestive system. Traditional theory says the spleen and stomach are the root of our acquired vitality. Think of them as the boiler in your home. When the boiler burns hot, the whole household is warm, energy and blood are abundant, and the body has strength. If the boiler goes out, even the best food you eat can't be transformed into nourishment, and you'll grow weaker. Pumpkin is like adding a gentle, steady flame to that boiler. It's not fierce, but it lasts, slowly coaxing the fire of digestion back up. Look at its color: golden yellow. Traditional thought says 5 colors nourish 5 organs, and yellow supports the spleen. That's why elders say yellow foods nourish the gut. This isn't superstition. It's the wisdom of long observation. What about modern views? Under the microscope, pumpkin hides more than 30 beneficial components. The 3 most important are pectin-type soluble fiber, carotenoids like beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin, and an amino acid called tryptophan. What is pectin? It's like a cleaner inside your blood vessels, gradually helping carry away the bad cholesterol that sticks to the walls so blood flows more smoothly. Carotenoids are like sunscreen for your eyes, helping protect the retina from blue light damage and slowing macular decline. Tryptophan goes a step further. It helps your brain synthesize melatonin, the very substance that helps you drift into natural sleep. So when the old texts talk about supporting the center, nourishing ki, brightening the eyes, calming the spirit, and aiding sleep, and modern texts talk about protecting the stomach lining, slowing visual decline, and improving sleep, they're really pointing to the same things from different angles. That's why elders called pumpkin the ginseng of the poor. Not because it's cheap, but because it supports like ginseng without the harsh heat. It's suitable for daily use. A good ginseng root costs a lot. A pumpkin at the market costs only a little. And for older people with weak digestion and low energy, pumpkin is gentler, safer, and better for long-term eating. That's the confidence behind pumpkin. You may ask what exactly pumpkin can do for older adults. Let me give you 4 real stories, each with a secret of how pumpkin guards our health. First, the heart and blood vessels. At our age, many people have blood pressure and lipids that aren't steady. Have you ever felt tightness in your chest after meals? Or found yourself short of breath climbing stairs? Or had your hands and feet tingle now and then? These are signals from your vessels. Traditional thought says when qi and blood don't flow, there is pain. Your vessels are like the drain pipes at home. Use them long enough and eat enough greasy foods and a film naturally builds up. The pectin in pumpkin is like a soft bristle brush. It isn't aggressive, but it slowly brushes this debris away. In modern terms, it's soluble dietary fiber that can lower LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol. I had an older patient, a former truck driver. When he first came in, his blood pressure was always around 150/95. He took his pills every day but still felt dizzy. His tongue was dark and purplish, his pulse taut and tight. Classic stagnation. I asked how he ate. He loved braised pork and stewed ribs and ate few leafy greens. I told him he didn't have to give up everything he liked, but we could help from the eating side too. He agreed and asked how. I told him to steam a small piece of pumpkin every day at noon, about the size of his palm, no sugar, just eat it like that, and at dinner to cut back on fatty meat. 2 months later, his triglycerides dropped from about 2.8 to 1.9, and his blood pressure steadied at about 135/85. He was overjoyed and said, "So health doesn't have to cost a lot. So if you also have cardiovascular issues, try steaming a small piece of pumpkin every day at noon, eat it warm, and keep it up for a month. Don't expect instant results. The body needs time to repair. And if you're taking medication for blood pressure or lipids, say so in the comments and we'll think it through together." Second, the eyes. As we age, the eyes are often the first to falter. Words blur when reading, the TV looks hazy, the eyes feel dry and irritated. Many people think this is just normal aging, but not entirely. Traditional thought says the liver opens to the eyes. When liver blood is sufficient, the eyes are bright. Orange-yellow foods like pumpkin nourish this axis. Modern findings show pumpkin contains two treasures, lutein and zeaxanthin, which act like built-in sunglasses to filter blue light that harms the retina and to slow macular change. Many people with age-related macular problems are low in lutein, and yet a bottle of lutein supplements can be pricey, while a pound of pumpkin costs only a few coins. I had an older neighbor, a retired primary school teacher who loved reading, but recently felt the letters getting smaller and the dryness getting worse, and even eye drops didn't help. I asked what color vegetables he ate most. He thought about it and said mostly green, rarely yellow. I said that made sense. You're short on that nourishment. He asked what to do. I said it's simple. 3 times a week, steam a small piece of pumpkin with a few goji berries. 3 months later, he told me he could read for an hour straight now, and his eyes no longer teared up. He even said this worked better than the drops. So if your vision is blurry and your eyes feel uncomfortable, try this 3 times a week method. Eat it warm. Eye health doesn't come from drops alone. It comes from the colors you eat every day. How are your eyes? If you also feel discomfort, leave an eye emoji in the comments and let's think it through together. Third, the stomach and digestion. What older people fear most is losing appetite and having poor digestion. When the appetite falls, nutrition can't keep up and the whole person collapses. Traditional thought says the spleen governs transport and transformation. Only when the spleen and stomach are well can what you eat turn into energy and blood. Pumpkin is warm in nature and can support the center and nourish qi, making it especially suitable for those with weak, cold digestion. When pumpkin is cooked, it produces a soft, sticky substance, that's pectin. It can coat the stomach wall like a thin protective film and reduce irritation from acid. Modern research finds pumpkin polysaccharides can promote repair of the gastric mucosa and have an assisting effect for gastritis and ulcers. The case I remember most is a widower living alone. He made do with whatever for meals. His stomach hurt when empty, he bloated after eating, and he was skin and bones. His child brought him to me. I saw a thin white tongue coating and a weak pulse, and told him this was spleen-stomach deficiency and a lack of both qi and blood. He sighed and said he knew he should eat well, but cooking for one left him with no will. I said, then let's start with the simplest thing. Every morning, cook yourself a small bowl of pumpkin and millet porridge. Cook it thick, drink it warm and slowly, and don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as a warm hug for your body. A month later, he came back with a rosier face and said his stomach didn't hurt, his appetite had returned, and most importantly, he felt a little hope again. So if you have poor appetite and weak digestion, try a bowl of pumpkin and millet porridge in the morning. Cook it soft, drink slowly, don't rush. Recovery of the spleen and stomach takes time and patience. What do you usually eat for breakfast? Tell me in the comments so we can share ideas. Finally, sleep. As we get older, sleep becomes the hardest thing. You can't fall asleep at night, you wake 3 or 4 times, you're up at 5 in the morning, and you're groggy during the day. Are you like this? Traditional thought says the heart governs the spirit. If the spirit is unsettled, sleep won't be good. Pumpkin seeds contain something called tryptophan. It helps the brain synthesize melatonin, the substance that lets you drift into natural sleep. Imagine melatonin as a soft lamp inside your body that slowly dims the light, and you naturally become sleepy. Pumpkin seeds are the switch to that lamp. I had an old friend who worked night shifts when younger. Sleep was bad then and worse now. He slept 3 to 4 hours at most and had no energy and a bad temper during the day. I suggested that 1 hour before bed he take a small handful of pumpkin seeds, around 20 grams, chew them slowly, soak his feet in warm water, and listen to soothing music. At first he didn't believe something so simple would work. I said just treat it like a small experiment for 2 weeks. Half a month later, he rushed back to say he could now sleep from 10 at night to 5 in the morning, waking only once, and that he hadn't slept so soundly in a long time. So if you also struggle with insomnia, try this method. A small handful of unsalted pumpkin seeds an hour before bed, chew slowly, add a foot soak, and listen to calming music. Don't expect results on the first day. Give your body a little time. How many hours can you sleep at night? Tell me in the comments and let's see who sleeps best. We've just talked about 4 major benefits, but if you pair pumpkin well, the effect can double. Just like a capable person still needs a good partner, pumpkin has its golden partners too. Here are 3 golden combinations, each simple to make and surprisingly effective. The first golden partner is lily bulb. In traditional use, it moistens the lungs and calms the mind. Pumpkin supports the spleen. One cares for the body and the other for the mood, fitting together seamlessly. The method is simple. Cut pumpkin into chunks, wash the lily bulbs, steam them together for 20 minutes, and after taking them out, add a touch of honey. Eat warm 3 times a week, best after dinner. I had a retiree who was always anxious, tossing and turning at night, and exhausted and irritable by day. I suggested a pumpkin and lily bulb soup. A month later, the mind no longer raced at night, and sleep was more peaceful. Pumpkin and lily bulb are like an old couple. One solid, one gentle, supporting each other and helping each other succeed. The second golden partner is Chinese yam. It's known for strengthening the spleen and stomach. Pumpkin smooths the passage, yam strengthens the foundation. One unblocks, one reinforces, like the loosen and tighten of Tai Chi. The method is also simple. Steam pumpkin and yam until soft, mash them together, and add a little milk to make a silky pumpkin yam puree. It's especially suitable for sensitive teeth or slower digestion. My mother had lost most of her teeth and couldn't chew the hard stuff, and thin gruels had no flavor. I made this pumpkin yam puree every day, and she said, "This is what comfortable food tastes like." It doesn't scrape the teeth and it warms the stomach, and now it's the bowl most looked forward to. Pumpkin and yam are like a pair of hands. One receives the food, the other delivers it into the body, perfectly coordinated. The third golden partner is red dates. Red dates support energy and blood and are especially suited to older adults with cold hands and feet and sallow faces. Pumpkin leans cool. Red dates are warm, one clears and one supplements, balancing yin and yang. The method is even simpler. When you cook pumpkin porridge, add 5 or 6 red dates and simmer until the dates are soft. Eat the dates with the porridge. Morning is best. Warms the stomach and lifts your energy. I once suggested pumpkin and red date porridge to someone who felt constantly tired, not unable to move but lacking the will to speak. A month later, the whole person looked brighter and the complexion much improved. Pumpkin and red dates are like a winter stove. One the fire, one the hearth, slowly warming the body. Which of these three will you try first? Tell me in the comments. 1 for lily bulb, 2 for yam, 3 for red dates, and I'll see your choices. We've said so many good things, but don't forget that if you eat it the wrong way, not only will you miss the benefits, you might even get the opposite. What I'm about to say may overturn some of your habits, but please listen carefully, because this decides whether pumpkin nourishes you or harms you. First, and most misunderstood, pumpkin is not a blood sugar lowering miracle. Its glycemic index isn't low, around 75 when very sweet and soft, similar to white rice. Why this myth? Because pumpkin does contain polysaccharides, but you'd need to eat large amounts of raw pumpkin for a measurable effect, and once it's cooked, the sweeter and softer it gets, the higher the glycemic index goes. So can people with diabetes eat pumpkin? Yes, but control the amount, at most about 100 grams a day, and reduce other staples accordingly. Don't drink a big bowl of pumpkin porridge while chewing on white buns. Your blood sugar will certainly spike. I knew someone who believed the claims online and ate tons of pumpkin, thinking it would lower sugar, and ended up with higher readings. Don't worship miracle cures. Eating scientifically is the real way. If you've heard the claim that pumpkin lowers blood sugar, type "heard it" in the comments so we can see how common this myth is. Second, don't eat pumpkin and sweet potato together. Both are gas-producing foods. Put together, they can cause bloating, flatulence, even stomach pain, especially in older adults with weak digestion. One person once cooked pumpkin and sweet potato into a thick mash and ate it with delight, but spent the night clutching the belly in discomfort. Later, I said to separate them. If you like sweet potatoes, eat them at noon and pumpkin at night, spaced out so the gut can relax. Third, pumpkin and spinach should also be separated. They both contain oxalates, and eaten together can affect calcium absorption. For older adults with osteoporosis who already lack calcium, this is adding frost to snow. The solution is simple: space them out, pumpkin at noon, spinach at night, so the body has time to handle them. Fourth, don't treat pumpkin as your staple and binge on it. Just because it's natural doesn't mean you can eat endless amounts. Too much can cause bloating and even yellowing of the skin, carotenoemia. My suggestion is 100 to 150 grams per serving, a piece about the size of your palm, 3 to 4 times a week. Don't be greedy. Slow and steady is the true way to nourish life. In the end, everyone's constitution is different. The key is to observe how you feel after eating. Do you feel comfortable? Do you sleep better? Are your bowel movements smooth? These are the truest feedback. Your body doesn't lie. Learn to listen to its voice. Now that we've covered the cautions, let's talk about how to eat pumpkin to bring out its full benefit. I have 3 simple but effective suggestions. First, control the amount and frequency, about 100 to 150 grams a day, 3 to 4 times a week. Think of pumpkin as an old friend. You don't have to meet every single day to be close. Checking in regularly is enough, and you know it's always there for you. If you keep eating it, in the first week, your digestion may improve a little. In the second and third weeks, your sleep may get better. After a month, your complexion may look healthier. After 3 months, you'll find your body truly different. Don't expect overnight miracles. The body's recovery needs time and patience. It's like planting a tree. You water it today. It won't be tall tomorrow, but a year later it will be leafy and full. Second, choose the right time. Morning or noon is best because your digestive power is strongest then and absorption is better. In traditional terms, the spleen is at its peak from morning through midday, roughly 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eat pumpkin then, and it not only digests well, it fuels your day. Evenings aren't forbidden, but avoid dishes that are too sweet or greasy, and don't eat on an empty stomach if you have reflux. Third, and most important, match the method to the person. I've summarized 4 common groups. See where you belong. If your blood pressure is high or your heart isn't strong, choose steamed pumpkin with little oil and salt. Add some pumpkin seeds, eat it 3 or 4 times a week in the morning or at noon, and don't pair it with fatty meats. If you have diabetes or unstable blood sugar, cook pumpkin until just tender, not over soft. Pair it with whole grains. Keep it to at most 100 grams a day. Reduce about 1/3 of a bowl of other staples. And don't drink pumpkin porridge because the glycemic index is too high. If you struggle with insomnia or anxiety, pair pumpkin with lily bulb at dinner and eat a small handful of pumpkin seeds an hour before sleep, with a foot soak and calming music for better effect. If your appetite is weak and digestion is poor, drink a bowl of pumpkin and millet porridge in the morning, cook it soft, and sip it slowly. Pumpkin isn't a miracle pill. It's a steady, affordable ally when you use the right portion, the right timing, and the right partners. Food and medicine share the same roots, said the old book. Modern life adds a final line. Your daily habits turn those roots into results. This is general information meant to guide, not a substitute for personal medical care. If you use prescription medicines or live with a specific condition, check your plan with your clinician and make pumpkin work for you.